Hi, John, and this is the epicenter of the rioting that we saw early Saturday morning. This is Emancipation Park with the statue of Robert E. Lee sitting high atop his horse Traveler here. There is already talk of this monument being brought down not under the auspices of the city, but by vigilantes who want to chain this thing up and yank it down with their vehicles. It's hard to distinguish whether that is real news or just the kind of stuff that we see on the internet that may not happen. There are significant police presence around here, and it would be hard to see how that could possibly happen. But even just this morning, we saw an incident here. A man with a Confederate flag stood at the base of the monument. He was surrounded by a handful of people who began shouting at him, calling him a racist. Police intervened. A handful of police officers stepped between those protesters and the man holding the Confederate flag. They escorted him to a police car, sat him down in the front of the police car, and drove him away. This is, as you mentioned, already happening in other cities. Last night in Durham, North Carolina, protesters surrounded the bronze statue of a Confederate soldier. They yanked it off its granite pedestal, that pedestal reading with an inscription, "To the boys who wore the gray." That statue was erected in 1924. There are literally thousands of Confederate monuments, primarily in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, as well as other states. But not just statues. We're talking bridges, buildings, schools, roads. And the crisis is going to be brewing in other cities. Certainly it will happen in Richmond, Virginia, not far from here, the former capital of the Confederacy, where there are already heated discussions about what to do with Monument Avenue, which hosts a variety of Confederate statues there. The mayor of that city wants to preserve the statues, but preserve them in context that is unpalatable, as you can understand, to a lot of people. Those who find the whole system of slavery to be so abhorrent that we should have no memories of it whatsoever, to those who believe that what their great-great-great-great-granddaddy did in the Civil War should be remembered and preserved. And then this ventures into the area of airbrushing of history, a tactic of totalitarian governments, a common practice in the former Soviet Union, where people who fell into disfavor in the government were literally airbrushed out of history. So that's some of the context of what's happening here in Charlottesville today. We've also learned just when there will be a memorial service for Heather Heyer, the young woman, the 32-year-old who was killed by the white vigilante who mowed down people in downtown Charlottesville on Saturday. It will happen tomorrow at the Paramount Theater. There's already on the marquee of the Paramount Theater this slogan: "United we stand, lives lost but not forgotten." We understand that the police are going to take great precautions to preserve security there. They told us in a statement, as the chief said yesterday, Charlottesville police are working with the family to ensure safety, but we will not go into specifics. So that's where things stand right now in Charlottesville. All calm, but tensions still exist here, as they do across many of the former Confederate states and wherever we have these kinds of Confederate monuments. John and Heather, back to you.
Still boiling there. Doug McKelvey. Doug, thank you.